welcome back everyone. So this is episode 26 of Alvin and the Bradys. So, let's, discuss some more episodes, there were, let's discuss, more episodes, that featured Jan Brady. So, there was the episode Jan's Aunt Jenny from, I think it was season 3 or 4. So anyway, in this episode, they were cleaning out the attic, and, of course they found a picture of, that looked just like Jan, But, it turns out it was, Carol's, Aunt Jenny. Carol Brady's Aunt Jenny, and so, Jan was fascinated by this, so she wrote her a letter and even sent in her photograph, and then, she sent, Aunt Jenny sent her photograph, and, of course, Jan was appalled by her photo, because she was an old lady, and, she didn't want to look like that, and it really, upset her, because, she'd start looking at herself in the mirror, and, that, she was kind of like Brittany in that regard, but, of course, she's not as pretty as Brittany or Marcia here, but, that's another episode, I wanted to mention there, But of course, she does end up liking her, that episode, because because turns out Aunt Jenny had a lot of money and was, a very outgoing person, so, but of course, she's not as pretty as, Brittany or Marcia, so, anyway, let's move on to another, episode here, there's also my sister Benedict Arnold, or, I guess one of Greg's classmates gets picked to be, on the basketball team, Warren Mulaney, and he doesn't, and, Marcia says, talks about, that she's dating him, and this really, upsets Greg, and, they really get into it in that episode, and, she says she's gonna take him to, to the, school carnival in that episode, so, that's about, it for episodes. I mean, I think I've covered, every episode that I think, relates to, Alvin and the Chipmunks in some sort of way, and, they almost got mad at each other in every episode, and compete with each other. That's how they are, I guess. But, like my sister Benedict Arnold, and, Clubhouse is not a home, and Treasure of Sierra Avenue, and camping we will go, and the driver's seat, and and of course, Room at the Top. Those were, pretty much the only episodes that Greg and Marsha, got into it and either got mad at each other or competed with each other, at least, Greg didn't, said, Marsha on, an escapade where her, clothes got all spoiled and tattered, Alvin always did with, Brittany in, several 80s episodes where all their clothes got tattered and, spoiled, like the mind over matter horn where they climb a mountain, and at the beginning of the episode, Brittany, was depressed and, because, she knew the chipmunks were more popular and, and Marsha Brady, actually in the Juliet is the Sun episode, in the very beginning of the episode when she was cast as Juliet, she wasn't too crazy about the idea, and that's kind of how Brittany felt at the very beginning of the Mind Over Matterhorn episode too, so they're both, like that in that regard, so, but, I actually felt, very sorry for Brittany in that episode, when Alvin suggested they go climbing the Matterhorn, and then their clothes get all, Brittany had a very pretty white dress on, but it got all ruined, her boots too, and of course, you can see. Then, to make matters worse, when they got up to the mountain to sing, a dog attacked all three of the Chipettes, A dog was, attacking them and stuff, and, I really felt sorry for them in that episode. There's also the episode Island Fever, each one of them, and of course Brittany was bringing the unmentionables, in her suitcase, just like, Marsha had in her suitcase in the episode Clubhouse is not a home, so, and anyway, the Chipettes were, Brittany was bossing Alvin around, and, and of course, I guess they, go on the lifeboat, and then they get shipwrecked, and, all of the chipmunks, they get shipwrecked, and, they get stranded on an island, and of course, all their clothes get, but not as badly tattered as, not as badly spoiled as, the Mind Over Matterhorn episode, but, I still felt sorry for them, and, Alvin and Brittany got, were stuck together in that episode, And, Brittany would often say in those episodes, we're going to freeze to death and it's all your fault. And of course, she'd say, we're going to die and it's all your fault. And she was saying that to Alvin, of course, she wasn't a very nice person in the 80s series. But she was pretty, and I felt sorry for her, because, her clothes would always get spoiled and tattered whenever Alvin would be on those escapades with her. And of course, in the island episode, she was wearing like a bathing suit. They tried to build some place out of logs and out of palm trees and stuff, and and at the very towards the end of the episode, Brittany was wearing nothing but a swimsuit. And of course, I think they were scared of some fire-breathing dragon on that island, and it turns out it was just a hotel on the island, and it was I think it was a very happy ending. Alvin was dressed in his swimsuit and sandals at the very end of the episode, Greg never took, the three Brady girls on, escapades where their clothes would get, torn and spoiled like Alvin would. But of course, in the newer series, it's, they seem to be on, on better terms in the 80s. In the current series here. So, they seem to be on better terms with each other, and Alvin no longer takes Brittany on escapades, or the other chipouts on escapades where their clothes get all torn up. And actually in that Mind Over Matterhorn episode, at the very end, actually Brittany in the very end disguises herself and says, I don't want anyone to know who I am. That was humiliating, with her clothes all spoiled. But, then she becomes a big hit at, this ski lodge hotel. Her tattered clothes, spoiled clothes become a big hit at the ski lodge, and so she becomes very popular at the end of that episode. But I still feel very sorry for Brittany, especially in the 80s series. So anyway, that's about, it. That's about it for this episode. So, I've pretty much, gone on over every episode. So, see you in the next episode. I'm trying to cover as much stuff as I know here. So, subscribe, comment, because, so I'll see everyone in the next episode. Thanks. Bye.